Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Divine Feminine 101 and I'm introducing you to my new YouTube channel. It's basically a project that's been on my mind for quite a while and I've only just gained the clarity to do it. So, my name is Dee, and again, I'm Divine Feminine 101, and this channel is was created because of a topic that was very, very dear to my soul, very dear to my heart, and hopefully it will resonate with a lot of people. But I created it because I don't know who this information will be helping out there. Is mainly based on life experiences. It's mainly based on situations I've actually gone through as well. And so I think it's important to actually shed light on it for people that are not aware of a lot of things that they're passing through at the moment. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about being an empath. And like I said, I think it's a topic that a lot of people have not really shed light on. And also, we'll be teaching empaths how to protect themselves from, one thing that I think is really rampant in today's society, especially in our part of the world, is narcissism. And I believe a lot of people don't know what it is. In fact, it is deemed as very normal behavior. So, people just pass it off as it's normal, it's not a big deal, everybody's like that. And, based on what has been going on, especially with the COVID-19, based on a lot of that experience, people are now opening their eyes to see that you need to take care of yourself, not only on the outside. It's nothing to wear just pretty clothes and look beautiful, but you really have to take care of yourself from the inside out. That's taking care of your emotional health, your mental health as well, and also eating right, eating healthy, and all that. But first of all, you need to be aware of how to empower yourself in today's society. So that's why I created this channel. I do hope it will resonate with people that actually need this information. Also, I'm trying to keep it very interactive, so you're welcome to to comment below or send me your email addresses. Sorry, I included my email address, so you're welcome to share your experiences as well. Okay, so I'm keeping this very unedited. So I will make mistakes, bear with me. But this is unedited. So I'm trying to keep it just very natural. So like every time this information pops up, I'll be doing a video to highlight these issues. So today, everybody, we're talking about being an empath, understanding what empathy is. If you're a lot of people have empathy. Everybody has empathy to an extent. Well, not everybody except narcissists, obviously. But people have empathy, but not everybody is an empath. So obviously I will also appreciate comments and more suggestions on being an empath as well. But I think it's really a topic a lot of people like to identify with. Like a lot of people like to say, oh, I'm an empath and whatnot. And really and truly, true empaths actually know that it's both a blessing and a curse to be an empath. It is. So anyway, let's begin. Okay. So the first point about being an empath is first of all, what is an empath? If you want to know if you're an empath, it's empathy. Being an empath is the ability to stand in someone else's shoes. Obviously, be able to put yourself in someone else's shoes. So it's not sympathy. It's not that I'm listening to your story and I understand what you're saying. It's actually being on the inside with you as well. So I'm not just listening to your story. I'm actually putting myself in your shoes. So it is not just understanding, okay, yeah, I get where you're coming from and whatnot. No, it's I feel your pain. Your pain is my pain. And literally it's not forced. Empaths are actually just like that. Well, being an empath myself, it's one of the most difficult things, extremely difficult, because you not only empathize with people, you also absorb other people's emotions. So basically, you go out and, for instance, you meet up with friends, and one of them is happy, the other one is depressed, and one is sad. And 5 minutes later, literally, you're thinking, I mean, I came out here happy, but why do I feel depressed? 10 minutes later, you feel sad, and you don't even realize that you're absorbing other people's emotions. You don't only go through that as well, you're also very attached to places, objects, your environment as well. So the energies, you absorb the energies instantly. You can tell if, you walk into a space and it either stresses you out or calms you down. So sometimes you really just, personally, I try to avoid a lot of I try to avoid crowded places most of the time. And initially, I didn't even know what it was. Before I started to empower myself, I just thought, like, okay, why do I feel this way? Like, literally, I hated moving. Literally, I hated moving, especially in a house where people have lived before. The energy is just so wrong for me, and I can't deal with it. It's always hard for me to spend time out of my own house, because sometimes it's just the energy and you're not so sure. It's a lot. I mean, it's a blessing and it's also a curse. So people think that empathy is, oh, I can read people's minds and I can read your mind, which to an extent empaths can. So, so people think it's just about that, like, oh, I can read your mind, I can do this, I can do that. But it's not just about the superpowers. It's also there's a lot of responsibility that comes with it. It can be a bit difficult sometimes, and it can be a bit taxing to keep absorbing other people's emotions and keep empathizing. So, I mean, before we digress, let's just go back to understanding what empathy is. So, first of all, if you do identify with this, then you know for a fact that you're probably an empath. And as we continue with these videos, you will learn how to protect yourself from certain energies as well. Because, first of all, being an empath, you attract the opposite, which is narcissists. And trust me, having to go through narcissistic abuse is one of the most difficult things ever. My heart goes out to anybody that's ever experienced this. I've had to experience it over and over and over again. And like life, something happens. Like, if you still haven't learned your lesson, you keep going through the same experience over and over till you learn, and you learn to put up boundaries. So it's like moth to a flame. Empaths are very giving people, and narcissists just take. So it's just, empaths tend to attract a lot of toxic people, people that are emotional vampires, energy vampires. They just want to drain your energy, and they want to take everything out of you, and they want all your time, and they think you owe them your time, and then they lie to you, and they constantly cheat and lie and do everything horrible to you. But the moment you identify that behavior and you tell them off, that's where the problem begins. Because what now happens is, they don't see themselves as the problem. They project that on you and say, oh, you're lying, I didn't do that. Oh, I was just trying to help you. I was just trying to. And then if you're not backing down, and you're not foolish enough to back down and be susceptible to their abuse, what then happens is they go around to your family and friends. Oh, I think she's crazy, I'm really trying to help her out, and oh, she's doing it. Oh, then that's when the smear campaign starts. They start to badmouth you. They start to gossip about you, start rumors about you, and all sorts of things. They talk and chat about you and turn everybody against you, whilst they're so sweet and trying to help you out, and they're smiling in front of you like, oh, I didn't do that. And every time you catch them in the acts, they come back. They always have a good comeback. Oh, they gaslight you. Oh, no, I didn't do that. Oh, it wasn't like that. I was only trying to help. Very innocently. And the truth is, half the time you can never really explain to anyone else that they're bad people, because you always end up looking like the emotionally unstable person. So anyway, we'll get to all that. I don't want to digress too far off. So let's just get back to understanding what empathy is, and if you're and identifying if you're actually an empath or not. Okay, so I've jotted a few points. Hopefully this helps. And also, like I said, I would appreciate your comments as well. So okay, so like I said, it's being able to stand in someone else's shoes, empathize with someone else as opposed to sympathize, actually understanding, putting yourself in their shoes, actually feeling their pain, going through the motions with that person. Empaths are also very, very good listeners, and it's not about just nodding along like, yeah, I get your point. Yeah, I get it. No, it's not that. It's you're listening to everything. You're absorbing the emotions of what the person is going through. You're in the process with that person. So empaths are very good listeners as well. You know, environment and energy. Like I said, you walk into a space and you can instantly either feel very stressed out because of the energy in the room, or you can feel peace and tranquility because of the energy in the room. A lot of people just walk into a space and it's either we're partying or we're having fun, or everybody's on their phone, just in the mood. No, it's quite different for empaths. Like, you literally walk into a room and you can feel the energy of the space. And sorry, excuse me. So you literally walk into, that should actually be on silent. I'm sorry. I told you this is unedited. So anyway, so you literally walk into a room and it's you're literally feeling like you can feel the energy of that space. You can almost feel the people in that space. It's quite deep. So anyway, so do people come to you for advice as well? I mean, if people come to you for advice all the time, then you know you're probably an empath. And the reason why they're coming to you is because they know that this person is not just listening and nodding along. This person can actually feel my pain. This person is probably going to get up and try to help. This person is going to be there for me genuinely. So if you get that a lot, where people just call you for advice and just peel out all their problems and everything to you, then you know that you probably have empathy, or you're an empath. Empaths also form deeper friendships because you connect to people on a deeper level. You really, really connect with people. You form closer bonds because you know past the person's name and what they like to eat and whatnot. You know when they're sad. You know when they're happy. You're constantly juggling. The first time, once you see them, you can tell something has changed. You can tell they're probably happy. You can tell they're probably sad. And once your brain lands on an emotion, it's almost like, okay, how do I help? What do I do to help? Empaths are always like, you just want to help. Because true empathy is being of service to people. So it's a gift. It's a gift from God. And see, these things for me is way past just behavioral patterns. For me, it can be quite spiritual as well. Even with the opposites being narcissist, I think it's very spiritual as well. It's way past psychopaths and sociopaths or whatever it is. It's deeper. I think it's quite it's a spiritual defect, or that's for narcissists, I mean. But for empaths, I think it's a spiritual gift as well. I really do think it's a spiritual gift. Anyway, as we go on with these topics, I think you will learn why, for me, I think it's a lot deeper than just behavioral patterns. Okay, so being an empath can actually be an emotional burden as well, because empaths go through extreme highs and lows, because you're so sensitive. And I mean, if you get this one thing where people tell you you're too sensitive, narcissists are sensitive as well. Some people that are not empaths can be sensitive as well. They're called highly sensitive people, HSP. That's not empathy. You're just a highly sensitive person. Also, with narcissists, they have this extra sensory detectors, so they can actually just tell your emotions as well. But what they do is use it for evil and not for good. That's the opposite of being an empath. You're very sensitive, and I mean, little things can just blow up in your head, and you're thinking, okay, you read meaning to almost everything. You're trying to find the underlying meaning to everything. Like, okay, what are they not saying? I heard this. So it's like people talk to you, and what you're trying to detect is the emotions behind the words, which can be really difficult sometimes. Really, it can be very difficult sometimes, because then everything means everything. So it's a lot to digest as well. Then, are you a giver? That's one of the empaths. I don't know if I should call it a gift or a curse, because empaths are reckless givers. Not because you want to give recklessly, but because you just want to be there for people, and if you have, you're ready to share it, and you're ready to give to the next person, and it doesn't even mean anything. You're not looking for anything back in return. It's just who you are. They're givers. Now, narcissists are takers. So that's why it's so easy for empaths to attract narcissists into their lives, and then you go through narcissistic abuse, and it's the worst possible thing. And you don't just recover from it by just recovering from a relationship. No, sometimes it takes extra spiritual effort to recover from narcissistic abuse. It's a lot of pain, and not something that I wish on anyone at all. So, okay, so empaths give too much, which can end up being a burden, because you're overgiving. You're giving of your time, you're giving of your resources, you're giving of your money, you're giving of your emotions. You just give. You just give. And people that are abusers just take. So they take from you, and they take and never give you anything back in return, because why? Their heart is a black hole. They have nothing to give. While empaths have so much love to give, so much everything to give, so much abundance to give, so much, So yeah. So that's another like I said, empaths are very susceptible to toxic people, because they attract a lot of toxicity, because like I said, they're giving. And in a society we are today, people are just selfish. Everybody wants to take. So the first thing people think of is, you're an empath. No, I mean, they're not thinking empath literally, but they're just thinking, oh, she's so stupid. How do I take from you? That's the first thing that comes to their mind. Where empaths, on the other hand, think, oh, I think she's going through a lot. How do I give to you? How do I help you? How can I be there for you? I mean, that's the first thought that comes into an empath's mind. However, we live in a society where people are thinking, oh, I think she's dumb. I think she's actually stupid. I asked her for something yesterday and she gave me extra. Let's see what else I can get out of her. So yeah, I think, yeah, so empaths, you really do have to protect yourselves, and you really do have to protect yourself. You have to protect your energy as well from energy vampires, because when people see that you have a lot of emotions to give, they just want to take and tear you down, which is quite horrible. So empaths will be the first to stand up for others when there's injustice. You would always see an empath trying to come to the person's rescue. Like, you can't do that, that is wrong, you can't do this, you can't do that. Why? Because of your empathy, because you can feel other people's pain, and you put yourself in their shoes almost instantly. Like, what if this was happening to me? This is horrible. I can't sit back and let this happen to another person. I was supposed to. A lot of people these days, you see people going through stuff, and you just pick up your phone and do a video. Oh, it's so cute. Guess what I have on my timeline now? Ooh, this is happening. So I'm not saying people that do that, I'm not saying it's all wrong or they're all narcissists or whatever. I'm just saying that I'm just pointing these things out so you can tell if you're actually an empath, and you really do need to set boundaries for yourself. Set boundaries for your time, set boundaries for your emotions. You need to put up boundaries against people, literally. Not everybody, but you do need to be able to identify who you are and how to empower yourself. So You also need a lot of solitude, because with empaths, the first thing you're thinking is, oh, how do I help this person? How can I be there for you? How can I do this? How can I do that? How can I, without literally saying it? I mean, that's what you're feeling and that's what you want to do. So you need time to be solitude. You need to be able to step back and think things through. So that way you can think, oh, am I doing the right thing? Am I giving myself enough time? You need to take care of yourself as a person. So this is taking care of yourself emotionally as well as mentally. So I don't want the video to be too long, so hopefully I've been able to highlight a few points about being an empath. This is the first video, the introduction to empathy. I will be doing a lot more videos, hopefully. So if you do resonate with this, help like, share, and subscribe to the channel, guys. Love you all. My name is Dee, Divine Feminine 101. Mwah.